Oh, I like coaching, but I don't know. It's like it's gonna sound mean, but I just don't want to work with like lower tier teams again. I just can't do it
Okay, so
anymore.
you say that, but there's a Reddit thread last week of you talking
That's
about how
the
you reached out to Golden Guardians, who, if you look at the
that's not the
rankings right now, is
coach.
the lowest tier team.
That's not the coach. I said I would do consulting. Like I would help them find a coach, and I would like help them get back on their feet and stuff like that. Like I didn't
Oh,
want to
okay.
coach the team. Yeah, like I was very specific about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people felt like you, well, at least from the Reddit thread, because I wasn't watching your stream that night, was were you were interested in coaching, so it's interesting. So what would you just charge them a big consulting fee to just say, here's Cop, he's a coach, you should hire him. I'll catch you later.
No, even I mean, I don't know. On the topic of Cop, like I don't think Cop is like the big band-aid that would fix them anyways. Like Cop is a he's a good like pick band coach and like he understands like the meta very well, but he's not like a coach, if that makes
Not like a
sense.
structural coach in that sense.
Yeah, like he knows the game, but he's not like he needs somebody with him that is like a people person and that can like motivate people and like get them down the right path. And he like, that's not really how Cop. You guys have met Cop, like
Yeah.
you don't like I don't meet you don't meet Cop. You're like, damn, this guy's turned my life around. You
Yeah.
know?
He's got it all figured out.
Yeah, it's just like, damn it, Cop, are you throwing up again from drinking energy drink? It's just like,
He's in the chat too.
yes, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh.
not to badmouth Cop, though,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Not to badmouth Cop. No
yeah,
one here.
but
Everyone has nothing but respect for Cop. Actually, he's my favorite person and personality of the LCS. Huge fan. Huge fan.
but I was just
Uh,
saying, like, obviously he could help the team, but he would need somebody to like go along with them. If that makes
yeah.
sense.
So who? I mean, we'll get into callers in just a second. I'm sure people want to talk about this as well. But who, like, how do you find that other coach? Because as you like, I think most of the big coaches are already hired up. So maybe you throw Cop in there to help out with the game side. But then how are you able to go out there and find somebody who has that ability to kind of like rally the troops?
Or even more generally, like you said you were going to consult, you were offering to consult with them, but like what would be like some public advice you'd be willing to give to Golden Guardians? Or like what do you think they should do?
Uh, how much are you charging for that? We said consulting fees here. There's no
Just
public advice.
just general statements. What do you think is the issue?
Yeah, like do you agree with the all NA approach or something? Like just I don't know. If you say what you want.
All right, I guess I can be brutally honest, but I think that just like their entire path that they took from the off season, where I mean, obviously the hiring of Locodoco and then the putting together the full NA roster, like all the players on that roster can work out on any team, I believe. Like, I don't think that any of those players are bad, but putting them all on the same team together, it's like who's your firepower? So like you compare it to like a team like TL that I worked with, before Double Lift came in, and then like we brought in Double Lift. So like usually when you're developing strategy as a coach, you it's hard to like develop a strategy if you don't have lanes that are consistent that you can play through. So like let's say that we were on TL and we had the Piglet era, like Piglet, he would gain advantages, but half the time he'd just kill himself, with that advantage. So it's like this isn't consistent. So like how do we develop a strategy around that? But when Double Lift came in, like he consistently got advantages and he knew how to play safe around the advantage. And you could like count on him to get a lead and like have the whole team play around him, right? So it's like, who is that player on Golden Guardians? Is it Lorlo? Like Lorlo's a good player, but he's like pretty hit or miss, if he's gonna like carry the game, in my opinion. So like I don't think that they have like a very strong like 1-2 punch kind of thing going on. Like there's not like a hard carry lane and there's not like a secondary like backup lane. So like let's say when I was working with Dignitas, our hard carry lane was our duo lane, and then Keen was like the facilitator. Like we just have him like gain priority and then go and like help that lane out and set up the dives and that kind of stuff. So it's like you can't really do that with the roster that they picked up. So maybe not for this split, but like some pieces would. I feel like bringing on subs and stuff like that, or like looking for other pieces to like put into that roster would help them out a lot. And then just for like this split, I think that they could do a lot of stuff with their pick band. I think their pick band is one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. Just in the way that they do things, it's like very obvious how they do their pick band.
Does that include this past weekend? Because it seemed like last weekend they had the new coach, which might have thrown things, into a weird mix, and then they had Locodoco before that. Do you think also this weekend? I don't know if you watched their games.
The first game they did like the same standardized pick ban, and then the second game you just tell they like fuck it, and they just they did the allow a pick, and like this is one thing I hate when you're judging like team strength and all that is like imagine somebody pulled that out in a BO3, they would just instantly ban the allow on like the second phase, and then it's like all right, Golden Guardians, now you got to play it straight up. Like the fuck are you gonna do? And that's why like I think when measuring team strength and like how a team performs, it's so awful with like a BO1 because like you can just come in with like cheese strategies and things like that.
Yeah. Is that your cat in the background?
Yeah, that's my cat.
Okay. Just playing with the toy.
Yeah.
Do you coach the cat?
Yeah, I coach the cat.
Okay.
She's chill.
Very good.
You
So
can't quite see what she's just off camera.
yeah,
Hitting something. He's not quite sure.
yeah. So just out
knows
of
a little circle
curiosity,
thing.
for your interest in helping Golden Guardians, was that born out of the fact that you just quite bluntly see like an opportunity there, like okay, here maybe I can do some consulting with this team, kind of pick them up, or is that because you like those players? Like what sort of led you to reach out to them?
I mean, it's a two-part thing where I want to develop myself in like that kind of area where I can do like more management type things and also like working like see if I can develop come in and be a consultant. I'm sure like many teams could use a consultant to like just come in to like any team around the world and just come in and help them and try to fix their issues. But also like I work with Matt and Lorlo and I've like known High for a long time, and it's just kind of sad to like see them just go down like that. And then I don't know. I feel like there's not going to be any right answers that the Golden Guardian staff is going to be able to offer them. So it's like I see all the problems right in front of me, and I could just like come in and like instantly fix them. I feel like just for the short term, like not long term.
Right.
And it's just like it's things that can make them like 15, 20, 30% better. It may not be enough to like bring them straight out of like the bottom tier teams, but it'll at least make them look like competitive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mark, you have any other thoughts on this before we go on to callers?
Nope. I was just starting to wrangle people up.
Cool. All right, so for those of you, actually, I guess Mark, you usually handle this. If you want to explain how it works.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the work.
You're so much energy from you tonight, Mark.
I'm just burnt. I got a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Working my way
Show
through
starts.
that.
You're like, ugh, I don't have any free time. Life sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm spamming.
I'm in Hufflepuff.
Can we move on past that part?
Yeah.